think we're at the public comment part. I've got some cards. You guys have been patient. Joule, I think you want to speak on something else? Joule Charney? Joule.
Ready?
Please.
Okay, so my name is Joule Charney, as I said before. I'm a 40-year resident in Paradise. My home burned, my car burned. I got my dogs out. I did not get my cat out. I'm giving you that background because I'm here on behalf, in part, with this lady behind me here, on behalf of the cat advocacy team, and I'm going to let her tell you about her proposals. What I would like the board to think about is what it would be like to be my cat. Literally, I'd like you to try to picture what it would be like to be in his paws, assuming he got out alive, which is questionable. I'm not allowed to go to my own property to see if there's a body there. At least I'm not allowed to go yet. If he got out and he survived whatever burns he may have had, and smoke inhalation and soot inhalation, he's got to deal with potential issues with freezing weather, pouring down rain, hazardous waste, things sticking up out of the various places he may go that could puncture his body. There's just traffic, big heavy equipment that's up there, and increasing traffic as other zones are allowed in. I just want you to picture that for a moment, and then think about how many moments it would take to add up to almost 5 full weeks of that, which we'll be out on Thursday. It's a lot. That's a lot of moments where you're terrified. Your whole world is, as you know, it is completely gone, as pretty much any of us have ever known it is completely gone. You don't know why you've been abandoned. You don't know if your people are ever coming back. And the powers that be think it's perfectly okay for you to be sheltering in place. And there's no shelter. The place is really not much of a place. It's a hazardous wasteland filled with all kinds of perils. I personally do not feel that is an adequate way of handling the problem. With Butte County Animal Control and NAVDAG, as I'm understanding it, being the only two entities with the authority to go in and do what it is that they're doing, and I do appreciate what they're doing, it's still not sufficient. There's still lots of animals up there, specifically with regard to cats, which is really not my area of expertise. I'm a dog person, but I did have this cat that went missing, and I'm responsible for him. I've been to a cat rescue workshop recently, and I'm understanding now better their habits. The reason people aren't seeing them up there, as many as they're told they may be seeing, is because they're nocturnal animals. To shelter them in place at this point in the game, I think is beyond cruel. If you put yourself in those cats' positions, and there are some dogs and other animals still up there, I don't think you would want to be in their position. You wouldn't want your own animal in that position. They need to be taken out of there, and the people that believe that putting them in the shelters is more cruel, I highly question their judgment on that. They're being taken, if they're taken to a shelter, which needs to happen, and that's why I'm addressing the board, there needs to be some coordination between who can be given access, how they can get the cats out, and where they take the cats to. And some of us are beginning to try to understand that some efforts are being made to coordinate these elements, but it still has a long way to go. At any rate, we need the first part of that process is granting access, opening up access to more groups with proper credentials than just NAVDAG and Butte County Animal Control, which gets down to the question of what those credentials would be. There seems to be no entity that I'm aware of that is doing any oversight on that. There needs to be something designed to do that. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because there's plenty of areas outside of the scope of the actual town of Paradise that this entails, and the Butte County Sheriff is the one that's regulating the access to the town of Paradise. So I do think it falls within your purview, and I would ask the board to please work with me, work with somebody to figure out a way to get access, to get the animals out, to get the animals to the approved shelters.
Thank you. The other card I have is Pam Larry.